Hello. Happy and blessed spring. Happy fucking Saturday. Blessed and happy Saturday. I'm feeling very giddy. I'm feeling very shy. I don't know why. I do know why. Whatever. I was just sat outside taking in the sunshine, the beautiful sunshine. Um, I was blessed to come across a beautiful bee and a beautiful ladybug. So that's very nice. Um, yeah, it's springtime. What a winter. Right. What a winter it's been. But anyway, I think I'm feeling very giddy. I think I'm feeling very shy because I've really missed doing my tarot. Like, I really do enjoy it. It's really, really fun for me. It's very mentally stimulating, and I just enjoy it. And I guess I'm feeling very shy because I'm just gonna, not that I'm tapping back into it, I still do it, but I've missed, sharing it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, Diva. We're gonna do. Oh my god. So let's just get into it. Yeah, let's see what the vibes are for spring. I don't know. It's a nice, it's a beautiful day. I'm wanting to go out and do some bird watching today, definitely. I have some family coming over today to celebrate my mother's birthday. I'm not gonna take that. Oh, we have the world. Beautiful. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That focuses on completion in a much more celebratory kind of sense, but so much more. She's pregnant, and that can focus as well too on perhaps giving birth to something, birthing something, blooming. That literally feels like spring as well too, right? But yeah, family coming over for my mom's birthday. It's in 2 days, and I'm going to we're not homies, but I'm going to make her a dickhead, a dick shaped birthday card. Be like, happy birthday, dickhead. The tower. That's the vibe for today. The tower, the tower, the tower. The tower can focus on having an aha moment, an epiphany, more or less, shall I say. Naturally as well too, can focus on something crumbling. All that jazz. But the tower is quite nice. The tower seems very prominent these few days. You know what I mean? So let's see. Why do we have the tower? Ooh, that Nine of Wands there kind of flipped over, and that kind of focuses on delays and stuff. I hope you guys can hear because this is on my Mac. I have no storage on my phone. I don't know what the hell they want me to delete my life on there. The Ace of Pentacles. Aces are new beginnings, fresh starts, all that jazz. So why do we have the Tower? The Five of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Cups upright, and the Six of Wands there in reverse. So the Five of Cups, that focuses on, it's a sense of disappointment, a sense of feeling disappointed regarding perhaps something not going the way you might have wished or hoped for, right? It's just that. It's kind of that feeling of just remorse or disappointment, more or less. Just bummer, bitch. But it's in reverse, which is kind of just focuses on a sense of acceptance, shall I say. Right, and it is a five, and fives focuses on change, right? And if there's one thing I'm raving about forever, is how beautiful and amazing change is. You know what I mean? If we allow it, if we allow ourselves to really see it or welcome it as, something that can just benefit us, What's the Five of Cups about? Bro, I'm sweating balls right now. It's the Five of Cups a bit in reverse. I don't know. Let's see. The Four of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon. Oh, I'm sweaty. The Four of Wands in reverse feels like something being unfulfilled. The Knight of Pentacles, that focuses on a sense of stagnancy, and the Moon, though. And why the Moon? I'll just get one card. That Nine of fucking Wands, bitch, again. So, I mean, like, with the Five of Cups there being in reverse, it's like I said, oh. What bird was that? No, that was a really big bird. Fuck. I really love birds. I have my binoculars right here, girl. I don't fucking play about the birds, honey. I don't play about the birds, okay? Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry getting distracted a little bit. I'm sorry. But with the Five of Cups there and being in reverse, right, like I said, that focuses on just kind of like a sense of acceptance and kind of just accepting the fact that it's time to just carry on rather than like kind of sitting in that sense of disappointment. And perhaps it could be regarding with the Four of Wands there in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles, something that perhaps was just like in a very stagnant situation or position. You know, with that Knight of Wands there as well too, delays, just something not going the way one intended to be, right? But like, what was it? Or why? It was just more or less like an opportunity to master a craft, to master something. The Strength and the Magician. That's all it was. It was literally just simply an opportunity to just really strengthen your whatever it was, more or less here. Yeah, that's really what it was there. The Temperance there being in reverse, right? Like, sometimes we need to like slow down so that we can enter a state of inner balance, shall I say? You know what I mean? Because you know the Temperance, she has like these cups, and she's perhaps just like pouring into something. Can also just focus on alchemizing something as well, too, right? And I think that's like what it was, really, more or less here. I think that perhaps what it was that take a shot every time I say what it was. I feel like I said it like 20,000 times already. But it's just that, like, you know, sometimes what we use to fuel, or how do I want to say it? How do I want to say it, bitch? How the fuck do I want to say this right now? So, or who, you know, like, what the fuck am I really trying to say right here, right now? Sometimes what is fueling us isn't really coming from the best place, you know, especially perhaps there with the moon here, right? That feels like with the subconscious, like, you know, things that like it's like unseen, you know, just like behind the scenes kind of stuff, more or less here. So yeah, sometimes the things that we think is fueling us from like a good place, you know, sometimes really isn't. It could be perhaps coming from a place of just like lack, or just like from a place that kind of kept us in a comfort zone, or just it's something, I don't know, how do I say it? Like something perhaps, let's say we're operating perhaps like in a sense of like survival mode, right? But we're like unaware, right? You know what I mean? So like you think that you're doing something good, but you're more or less just really operating in that manner. That's just an example, more or less here. And you know, the slowdown really, like a nice pause that like felt like the theme for the winter, to be honest with you. Yeah, we have the Devil there in reverse. You know, it was just like an opportunity to, like I said, with the Strength and the Magician and the Temperance, that feels like a major emphasis on like alchemizing something and restoring something back into balance there. Because with the Devil there in reverse as well too, when we're in that balance kind of position and situation, right? You know, we're no longer bound to certain things that perhaps control us, like on a subconscious kind of level, because the Devil can feel like that as well too, right? Beautiful. We have the Ten of Cups here. And that definitely feels like focuses like on emotional fulfillment, right? And I will say that like perhaps this period as well too, in the nice beautiful period of just like slowing down as well, has kind of illuminated or has shifted where you once might have found that sense of fulfillment, that emotional fulfillment, that sense of wholeness, shall I say, right? Because we have that Nine of Cups there in reverse. That feels like a sense of like feeling like dissatisfied. I always say it has an energy like of like overindulgence, more or less, shall I say. And then the Seven of Swords there in reverse. Seven of Swords feels like very deceptive, very sneaky, all that jazz here. But like I said, the Seven of Swords is kind of correlating for me right now, like with the moon, which can be deceptive as well, though, too, but like more or less in a sense of like, the Seven of Swords can, you know, be people lying to us or us lying to ourselves. So yeah, I feel like the period as well, too, has definitely like helped in like kind of helping to reframe how we like reframing how do I say it? Like reframing how we more or less just like a shift like with that tower in what really fulfills us, right? It's like a realization. Perhaps what you thought was really like making you happy was more or less draining you, you know? The Three of Wands, it's like it's depicted like with a person like looking over the horizon, right? It's like that feels like energy of just like realizing that the opportunities or are endless or just like it feels like a sense of welcoming like new things, new opportunities, like looking over the horizon, you know, like that's what it feels like. And then what's the Six of Wands there in reverse? The Sun and the Death card, my favorite. Okay, the Hermit, the Death card, and the Sun in reverse. I'm sweating balls right now. Like, oh fucking D. Why is the Sun reversed though? Two of Wands. The Tower again. A lot of towers. The Seven of Pentacles. Display that. Seven of Wands. Six of Wands, that focuses on recognition, a sense of victory, because it comes right after the Five of Wands, which is focuses like on like conflict, oppositions, all that stuff. Fight, just you know, conflict, rivalry, right? And the Six of Wands coming after that focuses, like I said, on a sense of victory and recognition here, but it's in reverse here. And this is kind of feeling like with the Hermit, the Death card, and the Sun there in reverse, it really feels like the pause or just the what seemed to be being stagnant, more or less, shall I say. Um, you know, the Hermit, you know, definitely served as a moment of naturally going within, you know, a period of introspection, and it's through that introspection with the Death card, you know, really was you were able to shed light with him with his like lantern, shed light on all the things that just really needed to die, right? Yeah, all the things that just really needed to die, like on an internal kind of sense, more or less. And whatever happens internally naturally is what will happen on the external, you know? And it's through that shedding, brings transformation. Um, it's like shedding and releasing. I was waiting for the car to pass. Shedding and just like releasing all the things that was blocking that, that inner light, that your sun and your shine and all that jazz there. You know what I mean? But I will say, if anything, like a major sense on like alchemizing, like a lot. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. We have that Nine of Swords. And like, yeah, like to just like really like wrap this like all up, it really just feels like I love overall, I'm really happy that the Five of Cups there is in reverse, is because it's just, it focuses on a sense of acceptance. But what has really helped you, what has really just like helped in being in that state of acceptance and just being ready, just more or less to move forward, is realizing why is realizing the beauty in the periods where perhaps a lot of things get shaken up, like a lot of things start crumbling. Perhaps things might have felt like as if they were being stagnant, but things being stagnant or just taking a complete different turn doesn't mean that what you perhaps were pouring into or something of this nature, just doing or striving towards, isn't something that isn't like for you or meant for you. You know what I mean? But like it's going back to like that moon and the Seven of Swords and the Hermit and the Death and all that stuff. It's like we sometimes don't realize what's like actually like fueling us, or perhaps not fueling us, or perhaps the things that we're still holding on to that's simply taking up space of the things that we're striving towards. You know what I mean? So you need to have like a lot of things like shaken up sometimes so that you can like allow them more or less to like peel away. You know what I mean? You have to let things crumble. You have to let things fall out, because it simply doesn't make sense to be on a journey with that Two of Wands there towards something, right? But you have like fucking like 20,000 suitcases filled with shit you don't even use any fucking more, or things that no longer serve you. You know what I mean? Like going back, like when I was talking about like sense of like operating out of like survivor mode, everything of that nature. You know, and let's end it somewhere else. The Judgment card there at the top, and the Fool, beautiful. Like like embarking on a new journey. Anyway, let's end on one more card. Two of Swords. That's removing the blindfold. Removing the blindfold is depicted by a person, yeah, like with a blindfold over their face, over their eyes, more or less here. It focuses like on making decisions, choices, truths, and all that stuff, all that jazz. And so, like, yeah, a lot of things just needed to peel away. A lot of things needed to peel away. Illusions to peel away. The illusions that perhaps brought comfort, or just really just to wrap this all up here is, right, with this Tower card. It just simply feels like, it's, or just serves as a reminder, more or less, that like, when things start feeling like very turbulent, when things start feeling very uncomfortable, when things just kind of just happen out of nowhere, things that we didn't even expect to really happen, in the sense of the things that perhaps we didn't really want to happen, you know, it serves us best to welcome these things with a perspective of what is it showing me? What is it teaching me? Right? Because, with the tower, anything that is built on an unstable foundation, more or less here, will crumble. You know what I mean? And these are the things that just really needed to crumble because it simply wasn't stable enough to hold what you're building and what you're doing. Right? And when these things fall and when they crumble, right, it's an opportunity to really rebuild something on a much stronger foundation because, you've, or shall I say, eradicated, you know what I mean? All the things that was making it very unstable for you. And when something really is built on something stable, that's when it can like really thrive and reach the heavens and all that jazz here. You know what I mean? But Page of Pentacles. I love this because the Page of Pentacles in my other deck, it describes it's a page holding like a tool, more or less like a screw kind of thingy or whatever, and it describes that the page recognizes this as something valuable, and this is like a student, right? It's like an eagerness to learn, and sometimes these moments are just simply an opportunity for us to learn and recognize the importance that it holds. Yeah. And I think that's what I'll say. I really missed doing this. I really, really missed doing this.